Okay, since we're getting a lot of attention here, after GDQ, a lot of new runners, I wanted to shed some light on the idea of pause buffer clipping, otherwise known as PBC. Um, First things first, there is no scripting allowed in Fallen Order speedrunning. There is no use of third-party applications. There is no use of intentionally lagging your computer out, whether it be running a bajillion programs in the background, Prime 95, Task Manager to change your process affinity or disable cores for the game, where you would go to yes, before you would set your priority. You can change this is not allowed. Affinity, you can disable cores to make your game lag more. This is not allowed. The only way you can PBC that is allowed is to use the F11 key to change from full screen to windowed mode to induce lag, or alt tabbing out of the game, or pausing, which is nobody can do it. It's very few people with like extremely shitty computers, which is why we divided the categories, because this was before we discovered the fact that you can do it using alt tab. These are the only two methods that are allowed for PBCing. So the first thing you want to do is go into your start menu, search your Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Steam or whatever. Mine's on Origin. Open file location. This is going to bring you to either your shortcut or whatever. Right click on this and you're going to open the file location again, and this is going to bring you to the location of where the game executable is. Now, if you're using F11, I believe you may or may not have to do this. F11 tends to lag your game out a little bit more, but for me, for Alt-Tab PBCing, this is what I need to do. Right-click on the executable, go to Properties, and click on the Compatibility tab. Now, I do not need to disable full-screen optimizations, which was previously thought to be a thing. But you do have to go into this change high DPI settings here, and then click on high DPI scaling override high DPI scaling behavior, scaling performed by application, and click OK and set that. Click apply, OK, for the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.exe. Now, it's worth noting that I have a G-Sync monitor, 165 hertz. So it's going to give me a little bit more input lag. I can PBC with alt tab without G-Sync enabled. It doesn't really matter. My monitor is a 2560 by 1440 resolution. So with that being covered, I will go ahead and boot up the game. With this is just a batch file, which is going to start the game and then close Origin, because I don't want Origin running in the background because it'll make the game run worse. So now I'm going to switch over to game capture in a second here, and I'm going to boot up my Zepho save and actually explain. Let me go ahead and sound mixer and get my game audio proper. Do cable input. This and boot up my game with overlays. And enable. Oh. Now that that is running, as you can see, the mods may have to, if this is going to be an issue, because obviously you can't tell if someone's running 6 instances of Skyrim in the background. to induce lag, or any other program, or Prime 95. This has not been an issue because we've based on previously a system of trust. But with people who are new and do not understand this, we may have to include the necessity of input overlays. As you can see on my screen right now, I have my keyboard and my controller overlays and F11 as well. There's still no way of proving you're not running a bajillion things in the background to induce lag, but it's not allowed. So we're gonna go ahead and load up our Zepho save, because this is the best place I can exhibit PBC. So once the DPI scaling, I wanted to actually back to my desktop here and also note one thing, that because of the fact that I run on a 2560 by 1440 monitor, I'm going to be able to play settings. Let's see if I pick this up on OBS. Yeah, okay. So everything's really small when you play on 2560 by 1440. So I have scaling enabled at 125%, so I can actually like see desktop icons and read text. So that's what the DPI scaling does. And my game is running in 2560 by 1440. You can PBC at any frame rate. It's just much more difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to 60, but you can set it to 45. And the first thing is first, I'm going to go ahead and go back to game capture. You need to enter photo mode in order for PBC to work. Now I am going to head over to this door right here, and I am going to do a dash flip into the corner, and I am going to alt tab at the appropriate time, and I am going to go through the door. And this is the only way. I really don't want to use F11 because I can do this with alt tab. And as you can see, my game is lagging. And basically, like, my screen, you're gonna see on your screen, you can't really see it on OBS, but the screen flashes black. 45 FPS is like it's super easy. But it's still it's a timing thing that you need to learn. And my timing is incorrect. But you see your screen flash black, you click back into the game, get my inputs here. Rusty here. Too late. Late again. Perfect. This is pause buffer clipping, no cheating, no induced lag, just straight up alt tab. There's 60 FPS. There's another 60 FPS, and we'll go ahead and crank it up to 144 and show you the difference in timing. It's much more difficult. It's much later. But this will not work without photo mode. You have to toggle photo mode once per save, and then it will, you don't have to do it like every single time until you exit the game. 144 is hard. So that's that door. I will go ahead and do a PBC with F11 and hopefully not destroy my game, but I'm playing on full. Oh, the most important thing is you need to be playing on full screen for Alt Tab to work. Won't work in windowed mode or windowed borderless. So now I'm going to do an F11 PBC, which is going to put the game into windowed mode. You only have to press it once, and it is going to switch. I have F11 disabled actually. Unfortunate. It's a custom mod that disables F11 and mouse smoothing because I don't want to hit F11 by accident at GDQ or when I'm not PBCing. So, go into my stars directory. Bear with me here 1 second. Some people's games do not lag enough, but I can assure you either Alt-Tab when done properly or F11 will work. You do not need to induce artificial lag. It just takes some learning. Get the timing down. Go ahead and load up a save again. I'll show you a couple of PVCs here with the F11 key. Now I'm going to probably use my controller for this and then just hit F11. So since I restarted my game, I need to toggle photo mode again. Head over to this store. I'm going to show you 2 PVCs here. One using this store and I don't do this with F11, so it might take a second. But run 45. So as you can see, it switched to windowed and 1920 by 1080. If you're playing on 1920 by 1080, it will switch to 1600 by 900. Alt-Tab is just so much easier for me. There's an F11 PBC. As you can see, my inputs pressing it way too early. There. Super awkward. Let me try with the keyboard. Yeah, I can use both hands. Yeah. I do not play with keyboards, so yeah. I mean, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. If you spam F11 too much, there is a high possibility that you will crash your game and possibly even your computer. So here's another F11 PBC that does not work with Alt-Tab because it just doesn't like the game enough. I'm going to PBC into the Mantis through this wall using F11. And hopefully not land inside. If you land inside this left curved area, this is a soft lock, so you kind of have to aim to the right. Looks like we are good. That was an F11 PBC, and that PBC only works with F11, and then like you would use this to skip the AT-AT fight in a PBC run and skip the Zepho cutscene and then go straight to Kashyyyk. So this is how you PBC. This is what a PBC is. That particular PBC works best on 144 FPS. It does not work on lower FPS because you're launching yourself. I mean, it's just about the timing. When you do it on higher FPS, it launches yourself upwards. As you can see, we're on the ground. You can't do this with a dash flip. You need to do it at strike. And timing is still important on this one. And aiming properly. As you can see, I launched upward through the entire wing and onto the roof. And this is actually a soft lock if you land in here. That's what I was saying. This is important. You aim yourself properly. I'm not even gonna bother trying to get out of here. But I think that covers everything you need to know about PBC. And as I said, you can't run 50 million programs in the background. You can't change your processor affinity. You cannot disable cores in your processor. You have to do it with Alt Tab, pause, or F11. This is the only way that it's allowed, and if you want to do it, you need to learn to do it that way. It's possible on any hardware. It's all about timing. Lowering your FPS helps. Certain PBCs, as I said, you can do it on any frame rate. As I said before, it's just more difficult. The lower the frame rate, the easier. Full screen mode for Alt Tab PBCs and enabling the DPI, high DPI resolution. Scaling mode performed by the application in the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order compatibility section. You do not need full screen optimizations disabled. And hopefully that helps some new people or some people who are trying to learn it. It takes practice, and you do not need to use any other programs or anything. And not to mention that, again, this is not allowed in the Speedrun.com rules, and I'm sure the mods will confirm that. It's already been discussed. Inducing lag via third-party applications or anything like that is not allowed. So I hope this video helps. Hope it's useful explaining a little bit on PBC. And I haven't really made like an actual video. I made videos on me doing it, but I haven't really explained it fully. I know a lot of people ask about it, what it is, how to do it, whatever. And I think one other thing, I did mention it briefly, but you will see your screen flashing black when you tab out, which is an indicator of whether or not you're getting the proper conditions in order for the PBC to work properly. So that covers everything I wanted to cover, and hopefully you guys found this helpful, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching.